Why did it not go where I want it to go? Hey, I got video library up here. I don't have the screen where I can see myself.
Yeah, click OBS in the tray. You're on. I can see you.
Ah, there we go. We're live. Thank you. Good morning. We are live. Welcome to Mortgage Investors Group. We are glad to have you with us here on this Tuesday, March the 7th. See, here's the beauty of going live stream. You see and hear behind the scenes how to call and get a last minute coaching from our buddy Jeremiah Clark. And so good morning to you. We're live at Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City, locations in Johnson City and also in Kingsport. We thank you for being with us, ready to rock and roll for this, our 473rd show. Woo, working our way to the 500th show, which is going to be a Champion Chevrolet. When we get to it in mid-April, we got all kinds of neat things to give away, and we're working towards a really cool show for that 500th. Today is 473. Again, we're a countdown to the Bush's Beans Pole Day at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're 43 days out from the world's fastest half mile. As you can see in the backdrop, we are here live at Mortgage Investors Group. Jeremy Lives here, our dear friend, and this guy, Flat, he and his staff get it done, and we're going to talk about that throughout the course of the show. Brand new sponsor on board. We're very, very excited about that. My big old noggin's in the way, and so let's see. There you go. Look there. Mortgage Investors Group, Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. Hit the bell. All right. Like it, like it, like it. And so we appreciate the opportunity to come over and hang out with Jeremy for the day. We're going to be joined by Adam Grigsby in a few minutes. Got something on camera you will want to see. Whoo, you talking about some bling bling. Wow, some cool stuff. Adam's going to be by here in a minute from the Johnson City Cardinals. Also, we're going to hear from Brad Keselowski from the race in Atlanta over the weekend. Also, runner-up Kyle Larson and the fifth-place finisher Chase Elliott. We'll hear from those gentlemen. We have lots to talk about. Let me tell you right out of the chute, because we're on the cutting edge of the show, the East Tennessee State UT baseball game has been scrapped tonight for the rain. It was going to be played at Thomas Stadium here in Johnson City, and so the Bucks and the Vols have been scrapped, and there'll be a makeup date to be announced, but there is no baseball tonight for ETSU. But boy, there was basketball last night. Whoo, what a night for East Tennessee State University. We're going to talk about that. We always start our show by dedicating to the man who hung on the cross, and we unashamedly do that. Out of the book of Isaiah, our verse to get us started says, I will keep you in perfect peace if you'll keep your mind steadfast on me, and always trust me. I am a rock you can always stand on. Boom. That is absolutely true. It took me a long time to figure that out. But once I did, the proof's in the pudding, and it's all good. So, again, we're live here. We got a segment on the National Football League. We got a segment on NASCAR. Lots and lots of basketball. 4 more teams since yesterday's show has punched their ticket to the big dance, including the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. Also, we're going to talk some pro football. How about my boys, the Raiders? Looks like they're heading to Vegas. Woohoo! So, you remember a couple of weeks ago they lost their funding. One of the billionaires backed out of the deal in Vegas, and one of the casino billionaire, and so everything's kind of in a lurch. Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, said no problemo. Went out and got some more money and another financial backer, if you will. And so the Raiders apparently are full speed ahead, heading off to becoming the Las Vegas Raiders. And so we've got that story. Tony Romo, what's his story as far as will he or will he not be with the Cowboys? We'll find out about that. And also Adrian Peterson. We told you over the weekend he liked to be with the Packers. He wanted to be with the Raiders. Now he's changed his tune. He may want to play for Belichick. So we'll see. And let's see if they can open up the checkbook and get Adrian Peterson. You know, I guess one of the things the Patriots are lacking is a solid, I don't know if a superstar, but a solid running back to kind of complement their offensive package. So maybe Adrian Peterson will be the man. We'll see. Hey, we're live again at Mortgage Investors Group. I do want to say thanks to Julie. Brought me a little swig of water. So let's get a little swig right now. We're getting ready to talk about the Bucks. Thank you, Miss Julie, for doing that. So here we go. How about it? East Tennessee State University, like old times in Asheville last night. The old Asheville Civic Center, now called the U.S. Cellular Center. And so as a result of that, the Buccaneers go over there and take care of business. They beat UNC Greensboro 79-74 in the championship game of the Southern Conference Tournament, earning the automatic bid for the big dance to the NCAA tournament. Pairings will be announced this coming Sunday, and the selection show. The Bucs will take a 27-7 record into the big dance, their 10th appearance, their first since 2010. Awesome job. TJ Cromer had 41 points in the semis, scored 23 last night, was the tournament MVP, as he should have been. A large crowd, there were over 6,400 in the arena last night, most of those from Johnson City and East Tennessee State. The championship came 2 days shy the 25th anniversary of the Bucks' last championship, again in Asheville, and the one that capped a 4-year run of titles in Asheville, North Carolina. So good stuff, and we're very excited about the Buccaneers and Steve Forbes, because we told you last week how he is, he is they're working on him to stay and make him a longtime resident of East Tennessee State. They obviously have sweetened the pot financially to make sure that happens. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Jeremiah says, looks good, loud and clear. Thank you, my friend. Hit the bell. As we're live here at Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City. And as we said, look on the backdrop there, Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. And again, way back in the day when Jeremy and I first met, we got our home loan through these folks, and so they do a phenomenal job, and we're very excited to be a part of this group, and we're excited he's come on as a sponsor here for the show. We're going to be here in this location. We're also in future months, we're going to be heading over to his Kingsport location too, so we're going to be out with him. And of course, the real estate market, obviously this time of year, is heating up, so if you're in the process of buying a home or going through anything which is involving a home, you want to check with these folks first, Mortgage Investors Group, MIG as they call it. And so Jeremy's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. Adam Grigsby's going to join us as well from the Johnson City Cardinals. And then also, as we said, we're going to hear from Brad Keselowski, who picked up his 22nd NASCAR career win on Sunday in Atlanta, as everybody heads to the Cobalt Tools 400 in Vegas on Sunday. Guess who won the race there last year? Let me think. Yeah, Brad Keselowski. So also we will hear from his runner-up, Kyle Larson, and also Chase Elliott, his home track finish of 5th over the weekend on Sunday in Atlanta Motor Speedway. As we've been telling you, starting very soon, your chance to win tickets to the Food City 500 right here on this show coming up very, very soon. We are 43 days away from the Bush's Beans Poll Day, so you are 45 days out from the Food City 500. Can't wait to be up there in the announcing booth and doing the PA for the 16th year at Bristol Motor Speedway. Looking forward to that. Of course, on the hat you see Food City 500. Don't forget to stop by your local Food City for a limited time till April the 17th. You can buy a $50 ticket. $50 puts you in turns 1 and 2 in the Kawicki section, coming out of the front stretch into turns 1 and 2, and getting ready to head down the back stretch of the world's fastest half mile. So tickets are on sale for $50 for adults for a limited time, and kids for the Food City 500 through Food City with your value card, $10. I mean, it's a deal. You cannot beat it. So the RUB. We'll take our first break. We'll come right back, and we'll be ready to go. We'll check in with our good friend Jeremy Livesey. Also coming up right after that, Adam Grigsby from the Johnson City Cardinals, showing off some bling bling. Come back with us around the world. You're listening and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show on Facebook Live. Again, thanks for being with us on show number 473.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Good morning, too. We are so glad you're here and being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Currently, we are at we're at 66 degrees, a 100% chance of rain today. We are, of course, telling you that the ETSU-UT baseball game has been canceled at Thomas Stadium on the camp, or actually not on the campus, right down from campus on State of Franklin here in Johnson City. So the Bucks and the Vols that have played today, not going to happen. It's going to be scrapped, or has been scrapped, because of the rain. We got a 100% chance today and an 80% chance of rain for tonight. So ain't going to happen today, as they say. Hey, we're joined with our buddy Jeremy Livesey from Mortgage Investors Group. Look at that big smile. Morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very good. I appreciate you being with us. And so tell us, for folks out there who have no clue, what is Mortgage Investors Group all about?
Well, we are the #1 lender in the state of Tennessee, and I've been doing this for going on 15 years. And I started, actually I worked at a bank before I started working here, and we've built something really good here. We've got a good team here and taking over the Johnson City and the Kingsport area, and just trying to help as many buyers as possible.
So for folk, we talked before we went to the break, it is, this is the season for real estate. Spring's usually a red hot market for the spring and for the real estate market. How can you, of course, we go back to way back in the day. I got my loan here from my home back when he was a fuzzy faced little fella, and so now he's all grown up. Yeah. So anyway,
more taller.
More taller. There you go. And married.
Married now. Yeah.
Yes, a beautiful young lady, Miss Ashley. So congratulations there. So for folks out there again who are in the real estate mode, looking to buy, tell us how you can help it, because you've had a phenomenal year last year. And as the sign says behind us, let me move here again. Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, if you're in the market to buy, the first thing you need to do is call us to get pre-qualified. There's nothing worse than going out to find a house that you can't get approved for. So we take care of the pre-approval process before they even find a house. So that makes their life easier as far as looking for a house. They know what they can afford. They know what their payments are going to be. That way, there's no surprise later on. And if there's any credit issues or anything, we can take care of that prior to them actually getting under contract. So once they're under contract, the whole process runs really smooth. And that's what we, value for our customers, is wanting them to have the smoothest process as possible, but also for the realtors, so they can be out doing their job, getting more contracts, and let us do the financing. So
I think you made a great point, because a lot of times people go out shopping and drive by homes and go, man, I like that one, like this one, and they make the phone call and they find out they're not qualified, and then it's a psychological blow. So if you come in here first and you say, here are the parameters you can go look at a home based on getting pre-qualified from this amount to this amount, and then they can go out and start shopping and go after a home that's within their budget. Yeah,
we really like to set up the file prior to them getting a contract. That way we only have to basically throw an address and a contract price in there, and because they already know everything else that's already been taken care of. So if we can take care of that up front, then like I said, it makes their life a lot easier after they're under contract.
Dr. Jeremy Livesey again from Mortgage Investors Group. 2 locations. We're here in North Johnson City. Probably next month we'll head over to the Kingsport store, or our office, not store, and hang out over there one day. Again, give me some numbers. Let folks know. In 2016 was a banner year for you all.
For 2016, my team did just at 200 closings. We did just under $31 million in closings. And for this area, that's pretty big, and hopefully we'll do more this year. So, and we're well ahead of last year's numbers, so I don't see why we shouldn't break that.
200 closings last year.
Yes, we average a closing every 1.3 days.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And this year off to a flying start as well.
Yeah, we've got 25 closings for March set. We're starting on April already, so we're pushing probably close to 40 for the year so far. So, so there's no reason why everybody shouldn't be sending us their clients.
There you go. Yeah. Mortgage Investors Group. You talked about the team. Obviously, you can't do this by yourself. Oh, you're the daddy rabbit. But tell me about your team. Who helps you make this go?
Okay. Well, I have a licensed assistant, Brittany Kasem, who has been with me for going on 4 years now. I have a processor, Tina Bowers. She's been with me from the start. And then we hired a new processor in Kingsport, Amanda, and we hired her back in August. So she's still learning the ropes, but she's going to be fantastic. So, but the amount of production that we have has basically warranted us to having more staff. So that's what we're doing. We're growing, and we plan on growing more.
Absolutely. 11:18, 66 degrees. We're live at Mortgage Investors Group in Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Coming up, going to hear from Adam Grigsby. He's got some bling bling to show you on camera from the Johnson City Cardinals. We're not going to steal his thunder. We'll let him show that off coming up here in a few minutes. Also, later on, we're going to hear from Brad Kozlowski. We're also going to hear from Kyle Larson and also Chase Elliott on the local scene. Congratulations to Sullivan East. We'll talk more about this in a minute. John Dyer, not a more deserving guy, punched his ticket to go to the state tournament after 30 years of futility. And again, the first time in the history of the school, Sullivan East is going to the big dance again for the state basketball tournament. We'll run down the sectionals. Crockett lost, Science Hill lost, Hampton lost, and a heartbreaker, and we'll tell you how coming up here in a few minutes. But the Lone Ranger, if you will, heading down to the big dance is the Sullivan East Patriots of John Dyer, and not a nicer guy. Again, 31-7 now, 30-7, 31-7. School record for most wins, going to the big dance, and you would not find a more classier guy than John Dyer. Of course, they'll announce the pairings later on this week and let Sullivan East know who they're playing next week in AA basketball. So we'll talk more about that. All right, so last night, I said, what were you doing last night? And he grinned. He said, are you kidding me? I'm on front of the tube on ESPN watching the Bucks.
Yeah.
Heck of a game, wasn't it?
I'm just happy they were on ESPN.
Oh. Yeah, they were on ESPN. They put on the show, didn't they?
They did. The first half, I was a little skeptical, but they pulled it through. I was very proud of it. It reminded me of the '92 team. That's what I was really thinking about, Calvin Talford and all them guys. So.
In fact, it was 2 days shy of the 25th anniversary of the Bucks' last championship. So pretty incredible. TJ Cromer put on a show over there in the tournament. Had 41 on Sunday, and then last night came back with 23 points, and he was the MVP as well. He should have been. The Bucks go to the big dance now, and so seeding wise, being a Southern Conference seed, I'm going to say they're going to be somewhere between. I was going to say between 10 and 15, so they're talking probably a 13th seed, right? That's projection. Mm-hmm. Adam is on top of things. He's got that phone. This guy.
He's good.
I need him to go with me, just travel. He can be my assistant because he's giving me all kinds of information. So I was going to say between 10 and 15 as far as the seed. But again, for folks who don't know, when you get into the big dance, you get moolah. And so there's money coming to help the program at East Tennessee State. But more importantly, it brings exposure to the program. Had they lost, I wouldn't be talking about it. So we are now getting ready to talk about they and UNC Wilmington and Winthrop and Wichita State, some of the other schools. Iona punched their ticket last night, their conference tournament. So big to do. And again, last night the place was packed, and apparently it was almost all, not totally, but certainly a large percentage of the fans that were Buck fans.
Yeah, it's only a 30-minute drive, so it's not that bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, pro football. Tony Romo, what do you think? Does Jerry Jones keep him and the Cowboys let him go?
I say they'll let him go. I hope he stays in the NFC, though.
All right. You're an NFC guy?
No, I'm an AFC guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So.
You know the only team that really matters.
Yes.
The Raiders. My boys. You like the Raiders?
No, I'm a Dolphins fan. So, yes, we've had a rough my entire life.
Yeah? You've had a rough sledding. You're right there with me. We're both two teams of futility.
Oh, yeah. We know mediocrity.
Yeah. We know mediocrity. There you go. We're talking to Jeremy Livesey from Mortgage Investors Group. There is a website. When we go to the website, how do we get there and what will we find?
You can actually go to jeremylivesey.com or migonline.com. Both of them actually have the online application or pre-qualification buttons there. the pre-qualification button, you can actually do a loan application from your phone. So if you're laying in bed and just decide you want to start looking at a house or try to get pre-qualified, you can just do it while you're watching TV.
There you go.
Yeah.
When he's not helping folks here, he also serves as president of the Elite Strategic Partners Networking Community Outreach Group in Johnson City. Also, past president of the State of Franklin chapter of Business Network International, BNI. And so, plus he, of course, happily married and, of course, born and raised here in the Tri-Cities. And so you're not dealing with a transplant, you're dealing with one of us, as they say. And so a local yokel, if you will, right?
Raised in Kingsport, yes.
Raised in Kingsport, graduated from Dobbins Bennett.
Bennett.
And he and I go back a long way and does a super job. So 200 closings in 2016 are off to that kind of pace already for 2017.
It's not even busy yet. So
wow. Now, for your line of work, when does it really get cranked up?
Probably around May. When school gets out, from about May till about September, we're slammed. I said I think this is June of last year. We closed almost $5 million in 1 month. So that was about almost 40 closings in 1 month. So, but we can handle it.
There you go.
No big deal.
Got the team.
We do it. We are set up. We are on the system.
There's our man. He's going to come back and talk to us a little bit later on. So, again, the website one more time is?
It's jeremylivesey.com.
That's all you got to remember.
Or mortgageinvestorsonline.com.
jeremylivesey.com. That would be Jeremy, Livesey, L-I-V, or it looks like Livesey, Livesey, L-I-V-E-S-A-Y, jeremylivesey.com, and that goes from there. So if you're thinking about buying a home, refinancing or buying a new home or refinancing, start with these folks. Again, I did way back in the day, and we're still going strong, and so we appreciate him, and our friendship goes back a long way. He's a good guy, and they do a super job here. Hey, folks, as the old boy said on Dragnet, facts don't lie. 200 closings in 16, and on a record pace already to eclipse that in 17, and we're not even getting into the hot part of the season. So
that's right.
There you go. Going to come back in a little while?
I will.
All right. He'll be back here in a few minutes, and we appreciate that. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we will be joined when we do. We'll come back, and as you see on the screen, our lineup today, Adam Grigsby, the Johnson City Cardinals. He's going to join us coming up next year. We're live on the road again at Mortgage Investors Group tomorrow. We're going to be at Chick-fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday we'll be at Champion Chevrolet here in Johnson City. Then Friday, our first stop of the new month for Food City. And let's see, I want to make sure I'm going to be right. Food City Friday. This Friday we're going to be in Boones Creek. Next Friday, Eastman Road in Kingsport on St. Patty's Day to help kick off the season for Kingsport Speedway. And then the 24th will be Midnight Madness time. We'll be at Food City and Elizabethton. So on the road like Willie. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live again. As we said, we're on the trail at Mortgage Investors Group at Princeton Commons, and that is on Princeton Road here in North Johnson City. I'll give a free plug to my buddy Tony and the gang right across the street from Evergreen Home and Garden Showplace Center, or Evergreen and Garden Center. And so you are diagonal, as he says, in Princeton Commons, right across from Evergreen here in North Johnson City in the Princeton Commons complex. Mortgage Investors Group. Again, go to jeremylivesey.com. He'll give you everything you need as far as getting ready to buy a home or refinance a home. Adam Grigsby's next with some bling bling here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again on Facebook Live, show number 473 on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
I mean, I can make the the high line work at most tracks. Here at Atlanta, I don't do a good enough job up top. You know, that's why I try to commit myself to the bottom throughout the race. And, you know, there when I restarted the leader, you know, after our Christmas present we got there, and Brad lined up behind me, I knew he was going to be the one to beat. So, and I'd spent a lot of time around him throughout the race, and, you know, especially on the short runs, he was better than I was. And he would always pass me 1 and 2. So I knew I was going to have to try and take his line away. You know, I tried a few times, and, you know, he finally kind of guessed where I was going right one lap and got to my inside. So, you know, disappointed we didn't get the win, but, you know, we typically struggle really bad in the early races of the season. So to finish second, you know, this early in the year is awesome. We had a shot to win the 500 last week and a shot again today. So that's all you can ask for.
And we're back live again to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us live at Mortgage Investors Group at 11:27, 66 degrees, a 100% chance of rain today. And so I want to make you aware of that we've got rain coming. And if you don't have it, I was checking the radar during the break, it is coming. Again, as a result of that, the East Tennessee State ball game has been postponed. Tennessee East Tennessee State ball game is Jeremiah's giving me instructions, confusing me. Again, East Tennessee State game has been canceled at Thomas Stadium tonight because of inclement weather. We are joined by our buddy. Tell everybody who you are. Good morning.
Adam Grigsby with the Johnson City Cardinals. Glad to be here. Radio show now.
Second show.
Yeah.
The maiden voyage was good at Champion Chevrolet, and so now he's on his second show. Now let's swing you around, get a little bit closer, let's get a little bit tighter here so I'll get off camera. They can see, there you go, they can see you. Adam is the Assistant General Manager of the Johnson City Cardinals. Up here is our camera, so let me do this for you. I want to show this off here, make sure I do this. This is really cool. Make sure the Cardinals stay upright. Check this out if you're watching us, or you got to be watching this. Check this out right there. Where's the camera? Is that not awesome? There's the top Appalachian League champions. All right, then on the side of this ring, let's do this right here. Side of the ring says Johnson City 2016, and then on the other side of the ring has the Cardinal logo. By the way, there's 7-3. Where are we here? There we go. That is really cool. Now let me do right now. I'm trying to learn how to do this camera. So now, let's see. Awesome. Let's do the top one more time. It's worth doing one more time. Still not doing it right. Here we go.
Yeah, that's the biggest ring that Balfour makes. It's an 8X, so we're excited to get those. And we'll be going down to Florida on Sunday for the ring ceremony. So we'll go down there, meet with all the players, the coaches, the strength trainers, and we'll have a little ceremony during their spring training game. So we're excited to get down there and see those guys again and to give everyone their rings. So.
All right, don't move. Let me tilt that down just a smidge. We can hear you better. We're talking to Adam Grigsby again. He is the Assistant General Manager of the Johnson City Cardinals. So the big club 7-3. Let's talk about Johnson City Cardinals. Again, AstroTurf is down to the infield. Promotionals nights are being sold. We're not that far away. Every day we come in and do the show, we're closer to the Appalachian League getting started. So it really and truly is not that far away, is it?
Yeah, we are creeping up on it very fast. We just hired our third full-time employee from ETSU, so we're excited to get him on board. And really, we're nailing down the promotions. We've already got our schedule for the 2017 season, so players will report about June the 15th, and then once they get here, it's about 5 days after that when we start our season. So it will be here before we know it. Season tickets are going like crazy, and we're working with a lot of new businesses in the Johnson City area. So we're just excited to start another season, make another run, hopefully for another championship ring, and we'll see what happens once the season gets here.
Can't wait to get involved. The Cardinals, it is a cool place. And I told Tyler this, having done play-by-play around all these different ballparks. One of my favorite places to call a game is Cardinal Park. It's got the modern amenities that they've upgraded the facility, but it's still got the old, the brick facade there in the backstop. And of course, it's still got the old look, the way the seating is underneath the grandstand, yet the modern amenities, as I said. So a really cool place to call a game, and it's a cool place to watch a game, too.
Absolutely. And we're excited, kind of like you said. We've already put in the turf field, so we're really excited about that for just days like this when the weather's not too great. It may storm in the morning, it may be raining, but hopefully by 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the field will be dry and we'll be able to play on it. And that's going to give our fans more games to come out throughout the season. Last year we had 3 rainouts, so hopefully this year, if there's not really a big storm, if it's just rain, we should be able to get by that and be able to play the game. So that's going to be a huge difference for us, is just having that turf, and it takes away about 80% of the maintenance on the field as well. And then this past week, we actually just sold our tarp to ETSU softball, so we're not going to have to make our interns pull the tarp out. So that's an exciting part for us.
Exciting for them too, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Tyler, for getting rid of that tarp. So we're talking to Adam Grigsby, the Assistant General Manager of the Johnson City Cardinals. We're live here at the Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City. JeremyLivesey.com. Go to that website and check out how they can help you. And again, off to another record year after going over 200 closings a year ago. They're off and running and haven't even hit the peak season yet for closings and refis. So These folks, as the old boy said, they get her done. And so Mortgage Investors Group here in North Johnson City. We're talking to Adam Grigsby. So if there are folks out there corporately that say, wow, we'd like to get involved because you guys, tell us about the attendance. You had a great year of attendance at Johnson City last year.
Yeah, we set an all-time franchise record in attendance. So just through the 34 games that we played at home, we had 53,844 people through the gate. So yeah, thank you for that.
That's awesome.
A huge record for us to break. With the renovations that we've put in, with the publicity that we've had throughout the community, we're probably going to shatter that this year. And so it's big for us to set that attendance record. We averaged a little over 1,600 fans per game throughout the regular season. So really did well last year. Obviously looking to grow on that. So the best way to get in touch with us is just to go to Johnson City or jccardinals.com, or just give us a call at the office at 423-461-4866. And we'll definitely, like to have you out to the ballpark, show you around, show you the $800,000 worth of renovations that we've done to the ballpark, and hopefully we can get something going for a company in the area.
Always a disclaimer as well that when these kids come in here for the Appalachian League, you guys have no control, you being the staff and management. Whoever St. Louis sends in, you're dealt the cards that are given you. So no pun intended, but I want folks to know you and Tyler and all the staff have no control over who the Cardinals bring in, correct?
Correct, yeah, that is completely out of our hands. It's probably a good thing because I'm not a big fan of baseball, but it is what it is. We have our GM, Tyler Parsons, make an appearance in here, so glad to see him. But yeah, we really do not control any of that as far as bringing the players here to Johnson City. We control the ticket sales, the concessions, the atmosphere that our fans see each and every game when they come out. So yeah, nothing to do with the players, and honestly, it's probably a good thing. So.
Yeah, and so just let you know, when the kids get in here, where are they at right now? Some of them are down in Florida, is that right?
Correct. They are all down in spring training, Jupiter, Florida. They're there training, playing games every single day, practicing, and then that's when the higher-ups, if you will, in the Cardinals organization evaluate those players, and then they send them out to the different levels, whether it's rookie, single-A, double-A, triple-A, and so on. So.
Let's do the bling-bling again, man. That ring is worth showing off again on the camera. Of course, understandably, this is not a high-def camera. We get that. It's a camera on the laptop for now, although we're going to we're in the process of getting he's giving me instructions while I'm trying to do my thing here. All right, let's see. Let's go to, oh, yeah, there you are. Let's do that. Nope, let's do that one. There we go, Adam Grigsby.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's why I need him here. Let's see. Let's put this, okay, I don't know, oh, there it is. Now check this out, folks. Here it is. Here, you do. I'm not doing it good enough. Adam's got the better hand. Camera's right there. There you go. He's already doing better than me. Look at that. Is that not sharp? That is too cool. Champions.
Yep.
And tell the years. This is not the first time the Cardinals have won the championship.
Yeah, so this is going on my second year with the Johnson City Cardinals, but they have won 4 of the past 7 championships. So we like to joke around with the other teams in the league that we have a little dynasty going on. And after you win 4, the players deserve this. So it's going to be huge for them. They're going to love these rings. I don't even think the players really have seen them yet, but this is their broadcasters. I've been telling his around, showing it to different people. So yeah, we're excited to get down there and give these rings out, and it's just going to be a special moment for those players, and something, 20 years down the road, they may not be in minor or Major League Baseball or minor league baseball. They may be working a desk job, and they'll be able to look back on this and remember the 2016 season. So it's going to be an awesome time, that's for sure. So starting on Monday next week, that's when we're having the ring ceremony. So
there you go. I appreciate you coming by. Since he's here, the guy just came out of the. You okay? You want? Not okay. Okay, he's not going. I know he went ahead. He told me he's going to have a wisdom tooth pulled. I'll be there tomorrow. And I'm thinking, let me tell you what, Cowboy. If you can come in and talk on the mic, you're a better man than me. So he's not going to be able to talk, and I totally get that. So
at least he made it out, though.
Yeah, he did make it out. I appreciate that, and he's a trooper. So again, one more time, the website is
jccardinals.com, and then the office phone number is 423-461-4866. And like I said, we'd love to talk to any companies, little leagues, birthday parties that may want to come out to the ballpark, enjoy some food, and then obviously watch the baseball game. And just give us a call. We'll bring you out to the facility, show you around, and go from there.
So let's touch on that. You just hit one, because if you got a kid coming up a little bit later in the summer, a little guy or a little lady, or maybe an adult wants to have a birthday party or a group get together, you guys sell group rates too, right?
We do, yeah. we sell general admission tickets for groups, and then obviously our bread and butter is the perch that we put in last year. So it holds up to 250 people, but really we sell that from 10 people all the way up to 300 with Bell Helicopters. So we can accommodate pretty much anyone and anything that you all want to do. Come out there, get some food, just kind of hang out and watch the baseball game. So yeah, we do birthday parties on the perch, and obviously we do big companies in the area. So we'd love to have more people get on that and enjoy the time out there. So.
Absolutely. And as Tyler said last time we had him on, and he's right, it's such a quality of life, and there's a lot of cities in America would like to have minor league baseball, and they don't. So it is a selling point. I know, Jeremy, we have talked about this from Mortgage Investors Group. When folks are coming in wanting to move in here from outside the region, one of the things they ask about, what do you guys got to do in the summertime? And you say, well, we got professional baseball, minor league baseball in the Tri-Cities and Elizabethton, Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport, and Greenville. So, of course, you're partial to the Cardinals, understandably so. Season tickets, last question, where do we get them? How much are they right now, and how do we get them here in March?
Yeah, same exact thing. Just call us in the office. That's probably the easiest way, 423-461-4866. You'll probably speak to me. I'm kind of the ticket guru, if you will. So we'll get you set up. Those are going extremely fast. We're excited about, obviously, the attendance record. Season tickets plays a part of that. So we just sold 5 this week, actually, since yesterday. So we're excited about that. If you want to come out with your family to several games, season tickets is a great way, or we have many plans. So definitely go to our website, check all that information out, and if you need anything, just give us a call.
You got it. Great job. Give you some taters. His second interview, folks.
Yeah, and I have the first one on DVD.
First on DVD. I gave him a copy of the DVD so he can, again, enjoy it, because he should enjoy it. He's doing a great job, and we appreciate him very much. Adam Grigsby, the Assistant General Manager of the Johnson City Cardinals. We are live again at Mortgage Investors Group, 66 degrees at 11:39. Again, as we've told you, East Tennessee State canceled for today. Rain's coming tonight, so there's not going to be a ball game tonight. It's going to be canceled, and so we will look for a reschedule coming up in the not too distant future. Go ahead and hand that to me. That'll be good. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen before we go to the break. Top producer 2016, Jeremy Livesey. Let me get that on camera. Let's see if I can see that. I'm not doing good. There we go. Top producer, $30.5 million, the top producer in the Tri-Cities, Jeremy Livesey. Again, 2016. Again, go to jeremylivesey.com, and they can take care of you and do a wonderful job. Quick break. We'll come right back. We'll take a look at college basketball. There's a ton of it. Again, we've already had a couple of coaches fired overnight, one in the college ranks on the women's side, one in the college ranks on the men's side. So looking for some coaches in some new schools, looking for coaches, I should say. We'll take a look at that coming up next year. Live at Mortgage Investors Group. Thanks to Adam Grigsby and Tyler. Let me just say this. Anytime I ask these guys to come and say, can you come promote their program and their product, and they're all about it, and we appreciate that. I'm looking forward to hanging with the Cardinals this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so, quick break. We'll be right back. We're live tomorrow, Chick-fil-A, Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday will be at Food City in Boones Creek, right here on Facebook Live on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard. brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
And back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Again, thanks to Adam Grigsby, the Assistant General Manager, stopping by here. It is 11:45. Temperature 66 degrees. A 100% chance of rain today. Daytime high pretty much where we are, maybe a little bit warmer. Tonight's going to be an 80% chance of rain, back down to the 40s and 50s. So very mild this time of year around the region here as we are in East Tennessee doing our thing. At Mortgage Investors Group, again, as you see, Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. Go to Jeremy Livesey, Livesay, JeremyLivesey.com, and check it out. And so we appreciate them very much. Hey, don't forget, coming up tonight, it is still, they have a few tickets left. Let me tell you all about this because we talked about this yesterday with Anthony Vestal. Here is tonight. I got to learn where that camera is. And there it is. Season preview, Bristol Motor Speedway tonight, featuring the match game. It is this evening. There's just a few tickets left. And here is the, I know I'm slurring this thing, so bear with me. I'm learning how to do this camera. Anyways, tonight, let me back up here. Clint Boyer is going to be there. Clint Boyer, Christopher Bale, Ron Capps, Courtney Force, Chris Bush has been added to the lineup. Tickets are free. It starts tonight at 6:30, again, to the Paramount in Bristol. Again, at this point, go to ParamountBristol.org and get your tickets. And again, if you want to be there with a chance to do a meet and greet with the drivers, as we told you, a couple from the NHRA series, and of course, Chris Busher and Christopher Bale, who won the truck race in Atlanta on Sunday, and also Clint Boyer, who's moved over, as you know, taking over the Tony Stewart ride. So it's all available, again, coming up tonight at the Paramount. And so we hope that you will stop by there and take it in. It's free, and I don't know why you wouldn't if you get a chance to stop by there and get a meet and greet with the folks, again, at the Paramount in Bristol tonight. And so it's the match game. They're going to pull, the driver's going to be up there answering the questions. They're going to be playing for folks in the crowd. And so if the driver wins, and you'll win, so you may go up there and get pulled out of the crowd and win some cool stuff from Bristol Motor Speedway, as it's a season preview tonight. We're 43 days out from the Bush's Beans Pole Day. And so we, again, thank you very much for checking us out with that tonight, again, at the Paramount in Bristol. Clint Boyer, Chris Busher, Christopher Bale, Ron Capps, Courtney Force, those are the folks going to be there, again, with the match game put on by the folks at Bristol Motor Speedway. And we can't be there tonight, but I know there's going to be a big crowd, and Again, I was talking to Anthony Vestal a few minutes ago before we went on the air. There are a few, and that's the key word, a few tickets left, not many. And so, again, you want to go to ParamountBristol.org to get your tickets. Let's take a look at basketball. Big night last night after 33 years. John Dyer hit it, finally hitting to the big dance. With a dominating second-half performance, Sullivan East crushing CAK out of Knoxville 73-50 last night to punch his ticket in front of a packed house at the Dyer Dome, named after John. You will not find a nicer guy anywhere. A solid Christian man, and solid the key word. Again, the win sends East 31-7 to the state tournament for the first time in the school's 50-year history. What a nice touch to guys kind of winding down his career. He's not done yet, but obviously I ran into him at the Hardee's Classic, and he said back at Thanksgiving that, not going to step away yet, but he said, the sand's going through the hourglass a little bit. He's been at it for a long time. For CAK, it was the final game as a private school, playing with the public schools, as they will go to Division II starting next year. And so the win sends East at 31-7 to the state tournament for the first time in the school's 50-year history, which is awesome. And so congratulations to Sullivan East. On the downside, even though they had a fantastic year, and you can't knock what they did and how far they got, Science Hill eliminated last night. Knox Bearden came to town and put an 86-57 win on the Hilltoppers in the Topper Palace for them to move on to the state tournament. Of course, they are coached, Bearden is, the Bearden Bulldogs, with former Cherokee Chiefs coach Jeremy Parrott. Bulldogs now 22-9, and Hilltoppers finished their season at 26-10. A great run for Ken Cutlip again, and his Hilltoppers coming up a little bit short. On the other side of the coin, the Crockett Pioneers had a travel Monday night. Last year, they beat them 73-70. Oak Ridge's coach says, all I put on the bulletin board tonight was 73-70, which is the final score of last year's game. Enough said. Oak Ridge never trailed. They beat them by 30, 90-60. Of course, last year they lost in double overtime on their floor to Crockett by that score, 73-70. Last night, whole different story, 90-60. Oak Ridge rolls over Crockett, but again, the Pioneers had an excellent year for John Good and an obvious rebuilding year. So, again, they will come back home, season over, but again, a good run by Science Hill and by the Crockett Pioneers. But neither team will get a chance to move on to the big dance, nor will, unfortunately, the Hampton Bulldogs. They lost a tough one last night, 64-63 on their home floor, trying to get to the state tournament again for Ned Smith and the Hampton Bulldogs. Had a chance. Grace Christian was in town, 64-63. Grace Christian wins it. Again, happening in Hampton. The Bulldogs, Adam McLean had the ball. His time was running out. Tried to pass it across the lane to Wyatt Lyons. It was swatted away by a Grace Christian player. McLean picked the ball up, then tried to shoot one to the last second, was blocked by another player by Grace Christian, whose name was Connor Arnold. And as time expired, the Bulldogs season ends at 22-11. The program went to their 8th consecutive sectional contest. So, good run, but coming up a little short were the Hampton Bulldogs again for Ned Smith for the high school basketball season, which concludes now in Hampton. So here's who won last night. It's moving on to the big dance in AAA basketball. These teams are going on to the state tournament next week. In AAA, Knox Bearden, Oak Ridge, as we told you, East Hamilton, Murfreesboro, Oakland, Brentwood, Independence, Southwind, and Memphis East are all going from AAA. In AA, the Sullivan East Patriots, yay! Man, I love seeing him go down and win it for the guy. John Dyer is such a class act. I mean, he is solid. Sullivan East, Knox Catholic's going, Chattanooga Brainerd, Macon County, Whites Creek, Maplewood, Sheffield, and Memphis Haywood all going in AA. In Single A, Knox Grace, Harriman, Van Buren, Clay County, Columbia Academy, Loretto, Humboldt, and Mitchell are the Single A boys teams heading off to the big dance for next week. Now, AAA basketball tomorrow. Oak Ridge, the Lady Wildcats, taking on Memphis Central at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Morristown West, the Lady Trojans, battling Murfreesboro Riverdale at 2:15 tomorrow. Really, that's almost an unfair scenario, because Riverdale's right there in Murfreesboro where they play the games. Well, typically when you play a Murfreesboro team, they let school out, obviously for a home court advantage for them, but it's a very, very at a disadvantage for the visiting teams, because there's no way Morristown West will have the crowd base that Riverdale has, because they let school out so all the kids can come over and cheer for the team. And so, you're talking about a home court advantage, which I think is not fair. I don't know how you fix it, but you can't not let the kids come. And I guess if it was up here, we do the same thing. We let the kids out on school time to go watch the game. But you're at a decided decided disadvantage and an underdog, if you will, when they play that game tomorrow. But Morristown West and Johnny Gallion, the coach, they got a heck of a ball club. Let's see if they can pull off the upset. At this point of the season, I'm for everybody up here. Whether you got the rivalries built in, and there are some, of course, here in this neck of the woods, but at this point, it's us versus them. So I'm all for Morristown West beating Riverdale coming up tomorrow, 2:15. In AA, no one here from our neck of the woods is playing in the AA tournament, but in Single A, we have two, both playing on Thursday. 3:45 our time, the Hampton Lady Bulldogs taking on Huntington, and then at 7 o'clock on Thursday night, the number one ranked team in the state, the South Green Lady Rebels from Greene County, taking on Pickett County at 7 o'clock, again on Thursday in the quarterfinals of the girls' state basketball tournament in Murfreesboro. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live on the road again, show number 473. We're on the road here at 11:53, and we are live, as we said, here at Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City, two locations. This one in particular is at the Princeton Commons on Princeton Road, which is right diagonal across from Evergreen Garden Center. I don't think Tony Valk would care that we give him a free plug. He's a great guy and runs a great business, another great Christian man. So we are diagonal across from Evergreen Garden Center. And again, it's easy to find. It's right here in this group. And again, this group or cluster of buildings in this complex known as Princeton Commons. And again, the way to get a hold of Jeremy and to find out more about this great company that's, again, as we said, Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender, would simply go to jeremylivesey.com and he'll give you all the information you need. So on a sad note, as we go to the break, and we'll come back, talk more about college basketball. Got some changes, new top 10 out for the girls and the guys this week, or for the men and the women. Also, some automatic bids have been punched last night for the March Madness. We'll go and tell you more about that. And also a couple of firings already. We've got a new men's coach we're looking for in the Southeastern Conference. We're looking for a new women's basketball coach in the Southeastern Conference. We'll tell you all about that. But as we go to the break, again, a sad story. On a double-edged sword, he was a former Tennessee football star and a former Raider. Mickey Marvin, had a chance to interview him back in the day. Only 61 years old, had been fighting ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Marvin passed away yesterday at the age of 61. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Raiders back in 1977. Started right guard for 8 years and was part of the Super Bowl winning teams in 1980 and 1983. Played for the Vols from 1973 to 1976. He was a native of Henderson. And again, Mickey Marvin, sad story, died at the age of 61 yesterday, and again died of ALS. And so our thoughts and prayers go out to his wife and family. Again, Mickey Marvin, former UT player and ex-Raider, passing away yesterday at the age of 61. He had been fighting ALS. We'll take a break, come right back. We're about to go into hour number 2. Still yet to come, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott from the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. We'll hear from those guys and what they did over the weekend. And, of course, everybody's getting ready to shift towards Las Vegas now for the Cobalt Tools 400 on Sunday, where Brad Keselowski is the defending champ of that race. And so we'll come back with more basketball. Again, we've got college hoops, got pro hoops, and we got some tournaments coming up, and it's been announced who the Volunteers play and when they play in the SEC tournament in Nashville. And by the way, again, Adam Grigsby, before he left, the assistant general manager of the Cardinals, said the very latest that they have as far as projections for the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State, by virtue of winning the Southern Conference tournament last night, would be a 13th seed taking on probably Purdue. Of course, that'll change. That's all what ifs and what could be's. It won't make any difference till they sit down with the selection committee on Sunday and decide. But I would think the Bucs will fall anywhere between a 10 to 15 seed. They're not going to be a 15 seed. I would say they're going to land 12, 13, 14 seed somewhere. And so right now the projection is, and it's purely that, is taking on Purdue. So I don't know why I told you, but Adam was nice enough to let us see that on the projection board. But again, the selection committee sits down and makes that decision. But the Bucs are in, we know that, along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other schools. We'll tell you all about that coming up next here. As we hit to the top of the hour, you are listening and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 473 from Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City. We'll be right back after you see this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology has just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, hour number 2, 66 degrees at high noon. We're live at Mortgage Investors Group. Let me turn again. Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. Again, as I said, if you're looking to buy a home or refinance a home, over 200 closings last year. Again, let me give you this, show the plaque again that he got, he and the team. Of course, he got it, but I got it up there. Top producer, there you go, 2016, Jeremy Livesey, and 30.5 million. How about that? 30.5 million. Mortgage Investors Group. The top producer, Jeremy Livesey, will be back here and talk to us in just a second, and we definitely want to talk to him and talk more. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in college basketball. Again, as we told you before the break, we got coaches being dismissed in Florida. Florida firing the coach Amanda Butler yesterday, parting ways with her after 10 seasons at her alma mater. For the Lady Gators, 15 and 16, they were ranked 20th in the preseason top 25, but finished with a losing record for the second time in 3 years. Florida went 190 wins and 137 defeats overall, 71 wins and 85 losses in the Southeastern Conference under Butler. Women's basketball, here's an interesting stat. They like to win in Gainesville, folks. Women's basketball remains the only Gators program without a conference championship. And so as a result of that, they said, we got to let you go. And so Amanda Butler fired. She's gone as the coach for the Lady Gators, again, for the University of Florida. So not a good way to end things there. But, again, she had to move on, and I'm sure she will. She'll land and find work elsewhere, I guess, as a head coach. I would think so. Also, Southeastern Conference on the men's side. So Florida's looking for a women's coach. Missouri firing their coach, Kim Anderson. He was forced to resign after 3 seasons at his alma mater. First season, 9-23. Second season, 10-21. This year, 7-23. He was 8-46 in SEC games in 3 years. Missouri hired him back in April 2014, despite the fact that Ben Howland was interested in the job. And of course, he's one of the hotshot coaches in men's basketball. He did not get the job. They hired their alum, if you would, Kim Anderson, who's been fired. California coach and former Tennessee coach Quanzo Martin expected to be among the top candidates to replace Anderson. And so Martin is from East St. Louis, would love to get back closer to home, so stay tuned. We may see a new coach. You will see a new coach in Missouri, and maybe Quanzo Martin. College basketball again, here we go. The tournaments are cranking up. ACC tournament, first round, we'll keep you on top of it. They're tipping it up right now. That will be Clemson and North Carolina State at noon. Wake Forest and Boston College tips it up at 2:30 today. And then Georgia Tech and the Pitt Panthers at 7 o'clock tonight. First round in New York City, the Atlantic Coast Conference. It is tournament week in college basketball. So that's coming up again, as we said, for the men. Last night, East Tennessee State, as we told you at the outset of the show, defeating UNC Greensboro 79-74 to nail down their first Southern Conference championship. And heading off to the big dance for the first time since 2010. Who else is in? Out of the Atlantic Sun Conference, Florida Gulf Coast is in. Out of the Ohio Valley Conference, Jacksonville State wins their tournament. They're into the big dance. UNC Wilmington, the Seahawks go, representing the Colonial Athletic Conference. Wichita State, the Shockers, win the Missouri Valley Conference. And Winthrop, out of the Big South Conference, out of South Carolina, moving on to the big dance. College basketball's polls are out this week. Top 10 for the men: Kansas, Villanova, UCLA, Gonzaga. The top 4 stay the same. Then you have Oregon up to number 5. North Carolina drops down to number 6. Arizona 7th. Kentucky up a notch, number 8. Baylor number 9. And the Louisville Cardinals of Rick Pitino round out the top 10. Again, in order: Kansas, Villanova, the UCLA Bruins, Gonzaga, Oregon, North Carolina, Arizona, Kentucky, Baylor, and the Louisville Cardinals, the top 10. And any of those teams, in my humble opinion, can get on a roll and win the national championship. And who asked me that yesterday? It was Landon Owen from Bristol Motor Speedway. Said, who do you like for this year, the March Madness? I go coaches. I just think when it gets into a crunch time, the coaches that can draw up the plays and react to the best and do the strategy. So going into March Madness, you can't go wrong with Rick Pitino. You can't go wrong, certainly, with Roy Williams of North Carolina. Of course, Bill Self at Kansas, top-ranked team in the country. UCLA, I mean, any of these top 10 teams, and there'll be some Cinderellas, of course. I think Florida State's a dangerous football team, dangerous basketball team. So any of these guys can get hot and make a run. But, as I said, when you get into crunch time, I'm looking at a coach that gets down and can get that dry erase marker and draw up a play to make a difference in the game. And that being the case, you got to look at Krzyzewski at Duke, Rick Pitino, of course, John Calipari in Kentucky struggled to kind of run hot and cold. So there's a lot of teams. The beauty of this is it means that anybody's going to be able to win this tournament. That's what's going to make it so exciting. March Madness is truly going to be maddening this year for a lot of teams. Women's college basketball goes as follows: UConn, Baylor, Notre Dame, South Carolina, Maryland. You know, Gino and the folks at UConn have done such a great job. It's almost like a ho-hum. Well, they've now won 106. They won 107. I mean, we kind of take it for granted because it is so record-setting. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to top this ever, but, it's like, oh, they won again. But, you look at what he's done. This guy has revolutionized, to a point, women's basketball. And I thought somebody made a very good point. I guess it was Carmichael last week at Champion Chevrolet. Had it not been for Pat Summitt, there would not be a Gino in UConn, because Pat Summitt's domination of the Lady Vols program forced these other schools to step up and get a coach and get a program rolling that would compete against Tennessee, because they were so dominant back in the day. And as a result, here comes UConn and some of the other schools. So Gino and the folks just continue to win. Again, the top 10 for the ladies: UConn, Baylor, Notre Dame. By the way, UConn's 31-0. South Carolina, Maryland, Stanford, Mississippi State, Oregon State, Duke, and the Lady Seminoles of Florida State are the top 10 in the country right now in women's college basketball. And so, as we said, they have fired the coach Butler down in Amanda Butler at Florida, and Kim Anderson, the men's coach at Missouri, are out, and they're looking for new coaches there. Last night, men's play, tournament play in the Colonial Athletic Conference Championship, Colonial Athletic Association to be exact. UNC Wilmington defeats the College of Charleston 78-69. Mid-American Conference, first round last night. Eastern Michigan beat Northern Illinois in overtime. What a shootout. Kent State over Central Michigan in overtime, 116-106. Western Michigan defeated Miami of Ohio in the first round of the Mid-American Conference for the men. The tune there of 65-61. And again, as we told you, the SEC tournament has been announced. It's going to go as follows for the Southeastern Conference. Tomorrow, opening round, the Volunteers get a day to get rested up, one more extra day. So tomorrow, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, again in Nashville, Mississippi State and LSU. The nightcap will be Auburn and Missouri. I guess the interim coach will be coaching the Missouri Tigers as Kim Anderson's been fired. The second round, Tennessee takes on Georgia at 1 o'clock on Thursday in Nashville. Alabama takes on the Mississippi State LSU winner. Vanderbilt takes on the Texas A&M Aggies. And then Ole Miss will battle the Auburn-Missouri winner in the nightcap on the four-game set on Thursday. The winner of the Georgia-Tennessee game on Thursday at 1 o'clock, they will play the Kentucky Wildcats at 1 o'clock on Friday in the quarterfinals again in Nashville. So, as we said, punching their ticket to the big dance, Florida Gulf Coast, Jacksonville State, UNC Wilmington, Wichita State, Winthrop, and the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State are in the big dance. So pretty cool stuff. And again, congratulations to the Bucs as they get their first trip back to the NCAA since 2010. They are a solid 27-7 ball club. They've had some quality wins along the way. So again, for my money, I'm looking at the Bucs to end up as a 12th, 13th, 14th seed. Maybe a little higher, but I'm looking 12, 13, and 14. Again, Missouri fires their coach, Kim Anderson. The Lady Gators fired their coach, Amanda Butler. And so we're looking for new coaches there. John Dyer and Sullivan East moving on now to the big dance. Before we take a break and come back with Jeremy Livesey, rounding things out for the NBA from last night, it was Miami defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. LeBron had a double-double, 30 points, 19 boards, but still Miami wins it. Other winners, Milwaukee, the Knickerbockers, Detroit, Golden State, Brooklyn, Charlotte over the Pacers. It was my boys. How about them? The San Antonio Spurs beating Houston 112-110. Denver, Utah, all get W's. And again, last night, Portland and Minnesota got postponed due to condensation on the court in Minnesota. Tonight, only 3 games on tap. The Trailblazers will be in Oklahoma City. The Lakers on the road in Dallas to battle the Mavericks. And the Washington Wizards in Phoenix to battle the Phoenix Suns. It is 12:10. We're with you to 1 o'clock. We're live here again at Mortgage Investors Group. We'll lean to the side and see that big bright sign behind us. Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender, over 200 closings a year ago, and they have the staff as they continue to add staff to take care of you. You say, well, they're too busy. They don't have time for me. Oh, no. They have time for you. They do a great job, and of course, as Jeremy said, they've added another person in the Kingsport office, so 2 offices to serve you in Kingsport. We'll be over there, I guess, next month, and we're here today at Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City, broadcasting live. And so tomorrow we'll be at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday, Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Highway Motor Mile. Every Thursday we're a champion. And then, of course, on Friday, as we said, we'll go back out on the road to Food City. And our first stop for this month, the month of March, at Food City, will be at Food City in Boones Creek. Next week, Food City Eastman Road, and then the Midnight Madness sale will be at Food City in Elizabethton. JeremyLivesey.com is the place to go. Before we go to the break, as promised, let's hear from the driver who won it all again on Sunday. Let's check in with, again, Brad Keselowski and see how he did with the race on Sunday. And he had this to say about winning in Atlanta, picking up win number 22 in his career, right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Here's Penske driver Brad Keselowski.
Well, wins are always special, but early in the season, they're really good. You just can't take any wins for granted. I know I don't. I always feel like before a race, and you obviously always want to win, and you always wonder yourself when your last win's going to be. And I'm not, anywhere near retirement age, but you still think about those things, and you think about tough it just is to win at this level, and how lucky you are to have a team to win. I mean, a great winning percentage at this level is 1 out of every 10 races. 1 out of every 10 races. If you could pull that off, I mean, you're a Hall of Famer. And I think that's just a testament to how tough it is. So today was a tough day for us. We knew it was going to be a tough day. This is a a track that really separates drivers of all sorts and the teams of all sorts. It's early in the season. There's always going to be kind of those pre-race jitters with a track that you know is tough to drive.
In Atlanta again over the weekend. Big win for him, of course, number 22. And, of course, he goes into Las Vegas with a lot of Mo. He won the race there last year in the Cobalt Tools 400. Take a quick break. We've got more NASCAR coming up. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Mortgage Investors Group in North Johnson City on this Tuesday. We'll be joined by our buddy Jeremy Livesey, who's also checking to see got some NFL news back here and also some NASCAR news. And so Jeremy Livesey from Mortgage Investors Group joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, Facebook Live, show number 473. They said it wouldn't work, said we weren't going to do it, said it would never last. Number 473. Very proud of that. Heading towards number 500 was going to be a big party at Champion Chevrolet. And we'll talk more about that as we get a little bit closer. Quick break. We'll be right back. It's Jeremy Livesey next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. Welcome back at 12:17 with you to 1 o'clock. And still yet to come, we'll hear from Chase Elliott. Got some NASCAR news, got some pro football news. Right now we got some Jeremy Livesey news. There he is getting back on screen. And it's not important you see me, but it's real important you see him because he's one of the good guys and does a phenomenal job. Mortgage Investors Group. You see the sign behind us, the backdrop. Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. There's a bunch of them out there. What do you feel like separates you from the XYZ competition? Why Mortgage Investors Group?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of experience, and to go back to your previous comment about seeing you versus me, we actually do a lot of stuff online. So if they don't like the way I look, we can actually do the stuff online. So we do handle a lot of business through e-signs, and so we try to kind of cater to their busy lifestyles because everybody seems to be 10 times busier than they were 10 years ago. So we can do a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of closings we have that sometimes that's the first time we actually meet the clients in person, but we do, provide customer service throughout the whole process via phone or email or whatever, but whatever they need to, to cater to their lifestyle. So
JeremyLivesey.com is where you want to go to. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need to know. You work very closely with, obviously, real estate companies and insurance companies. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, the realtors we work with on a regular basis, they send us the clients, but we try to not really control the process, but try to help as many people to get everything done in a timely manner. So if they don't have insurance hooked up for their new home, we do have a network of agents that we trust and try to send clients to, as far as, because we know they will provide good service and it's a good reflection upon us and the realtor. So if we need something at the last minute, we do have some agents that will take care of getting insurance policies in a timely manner and making sure they're getting the coverage and the service they need. So
we're down 2 degrees. We're down to 64. Again, we got rain coming. Again, the Tennessee, East Tennessee State, Tennessee baseball game, scheduled for the night at Thomas Stadium in Johnson City, has been canceled. So they'll reschedule that because of UT coming up here. We're anticipating rain this afternoon, even more tonight, which we need. I was hearing the other day on the Weather Channel that on my weather cube at the house, we're still, even all the rain we've had, we're still just a smidgen down from where we need to be as far as the rainfall level. So need that for the farmers and for everything going on, because coming up later on this summer we'll get the old dry spell and the dog days, and we need all the rain we can get right now in the spring. So we will welcome the rain and thank the good Lord for sending it our way. There's other parts of the country that would love to have the rain, so we thank the good Lord for sending it our way here in the mountains of East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, Western North Carolina. We're all over the country again on Facebook Live, and we will tell you again your chance to win tickets to get to the Food City 500 in 45 days out from the Food City 500, crowning a new champion this year. Carl Edwards, not, as you know by now, not in NASCAR this year in the Cup Series, so your chance to win comes very, very soon. In fact, Jeremy said it may be ready to go as soon as tomorrow, or even maybe Thursday, to get you qualified via Facebook Live here at TomTaylorSports.com is your one-stop shop for us, and to get ready to go for, again, the great racing. Now with the stage racing at NASCAR and the stage racing, of course, at Bristol, it's going to be a lot of fun. What do you think? You're a big NASCAR guy. What do you think about the stages?
I enjoy it. It adds a little more, competition to it. It's definitely bit Harvick last week because I think he pitted too soon and then he sped, and I said it's kind of changed the whole strategy, which is good for TV, it's good for the fans, but I'm sure there's some people that are traditionalists that don't like the new format, but for me, I think it adds just more excitement.
The stages, again, they're getting what they want right now in NASCAR. We're 2 races into the season, obviously, and so Harvick's on top of the leaderboard, but he hasn't won a race. Obviously, Kurt Busch won Daytona, and Keselowski won last week. We're going to hear from Chase Elliott coming up here in a minute, but the fact that he's won 3 stages so far has put him at the top of the leaderboard, so that's what NASCAR wants, and so that shows you that you don't necessarily have to win the races, but if you win the stages, and if you win the race, it's just an added extra bonus. So Harvick leads the leaderboard heading off to, and we'll have that for you in a minute, we'll read down the top 10 as they head off to Vegas this week. So what about the 5-minute rule in the pits where, if we can't fix it in 5 minutes, you're behind the wall for the rest of the day? What do you think?
I love it. It's, for safety, it's great. And, because especially I think when Bristol comes around, when people are, driving around with half a car, that's going to be great for, safety of the people on the pits and then the drivers themselves. But I personally like it, but unless you're a Junior fan, you probably don't like it very much because he's not made it out of the pits yet. So, but for the most part, I think it's great just for safety and I think it does add competition to make them, try to do as much as they can on the pits. If they can't do it, they can't do it. So.
How many times you watched a race in the past where they've sent somebody back out there and all of a sudden there's a caution because it's leaking fluid or the tire goes down or something that blows an engine because they shouldn't be back out there anyway. So new rule is 5 minutes, as we've said, and we've talked about this many times before the start of the season. You get 5 minutes in the pits. If you can't fix it in 5 minutes, NASCAR says to the garage or to the in behind the wall, and so you're basically done for the day. It puts added pressure. Let's use you as an example. Mortgage Investors Group's got your name all over a car, and it's not on TV. It's not being talked about on the radio. You pull in the pits, you blow an engine, whatever. You can't fix it in 5 minutes. Then you go behind the wall, and so all of a sudden, Mortgage Investors Group's not seen or heard for the rest of the day.
That's exactly right.
So it puts pressure on the driver, extra pressure, and the crew.
More on the crew, yes.
Yeah, no question.
But it does add, for the stages, I think, for Bristol, I think people got kind of down because of the competition wasn't there because there wasn't as many wrecks, and I think the stages will make people, they're going to be driving more aggressively, so it may add some more excitement for Bristol.
Oh, beating and banging, folks. 423 Bristol, or go to BristolTix.com on the website, or if you're outside the area, 1-866-415-4158 is the number to call to get your season tickets, or get, again, as Landon talked about yesterday, the season ticket at Bristol is $149 for all the racing in the spring, all the racing in the fall. You can't beat that. And then, of course, the kids get in free on pole day on the 21st of April. They get in free. They get in free for the Saturday doubleheader, the K&N Series, and also the Fitzgerald Glider 300. And then for the Food City 500 on Sunday, notice the hat. Where are we? There we go. I haven't figured out the camera thing yet. I keep leaning the wrong way. Food City 500, if you're 12 and under, get in to see the race for $10. So it's a great value. Check them out again all three ways. 423 Bristol, BristolTix.com, or 1-866-415-4158. Or if you're in the Tri-Cities, just stop by the Bruton Smith building and go in person to the ticket office and get your tickets, because we are 43 days out from the world's fastest half mile in the great racing. We're talking to Jeremy Livesey again at JeremyLivesey.com, Mortgage Investors Group, again, Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender. We were talking off air about VA. You help a lot with VA loans, and that's big in this area. Tell me about that.
Well, this area, just with having the VA hospital locally, we get a lot of VAs, some veterans in the area. You got a lot that come in from Kentucky and Virginia and stuff like that are moving closer to this area just to be closer to the hospital. The advantage they get is 100% financing with no mortgage insurance, and they're a lot more lenient on credit scores and stuff like that. So this office here, we do about 25 to 30% of the VA market for the Tri-Cities, and we're really good at it. A lot of your local banks don't like VAs because of all the paperwork, but we've got it down to a system, so it's no different for us than any other loan. So,
of course, things, there's always exception to the rule, but if you came in today and kind of got the process going, typically speaking, and I'm not going to hold you to it, but typically speaking, is it a 2-week process, 4-week process? Typically, how long does it take?
From application to closing, less than 30 days. For instance, I took a loan app yesterday. We're closing him on the 31st. So, no big deal on that. The ones that have issues with longer terms is like USDAs, where we have to send them to USDA after the fact, but that's the only ones that we have to send out. Other ones, we do everything in-house. So.
We're talking to Jeremy Livesey again from Mortgage Investors Group. We are here at his office in North Johnson City, Princeton Commons, Princeton Road. Physically, they're located catty corner to Evergreen Garden Center. I want to give a shout out to Tony Vaught, great guy, great Christian man. So Princeton Road's where they're located at, and of course they're here, and the big mark sign, easy to identify. JeremyLivesey.com is the way you'd want to make contact with this gentleman, because he's ready to sit down and help you. And do you see trends? Last year you did 200 closings. Was it split foyers? Was it one-level living? Was it condos? Was there a trend that you saw last year?
Most of it was just single family. We did some condos, and we did a lot of investment properties as well. But it seems to be a lot of them are just your regular single family. We have a lot of people moving to the area, a lot of people that are retiring. And then we got a lot of people that, newlyweds and stuff like that are buying their first home. So,
what I liked what you said earlier in the broadcast. Again, we're here till 1 o'clock, and we'll move on. Be ready to go at Chick-fil-A tomorrow. What I liked, what you said earlier, was the fact that a lot of folks do this wrong. They go out, just jump in the car and say, let's go around and look at some homes. I like that one. Boy, so we like that one. So they go back home, and then they go and get qualified, and they realize that, the one I wanted we were not qualified for. Jeremy has the right plan. Come here first, get pre-qualified. He's going to say, here's your budget, here's your parameters to go out shopping, and then you go out. And then when you find the home you like, you're not going to be disappointed because you've overstepped your bounds.
Yeah.
You'll know exactly what you can get, right?
Exactly. Yeah. No surprises after the fact. It was just asked, we ask all the right questions, and then we make sure that they, answer everything we need, because there's no worse thing than having a surprise a week or so before you're closing. So that's why we do all the stuff up front, get all the paperwork, and then, like I said, once you get a contract, it's pretty easy.
Now, another trend from last year, again, he did over 200 closings here last year at Mortgage Investors Group, which is phenomenal, and he's off to the same pace this year. I saw on Facebook the other day you had 3 closings one day last week, maybe.
Yeah.
And
Friday.
so
Yeah.
Friday had 3 closings in one day. So we talked about what people are buying out of those 200 closings a year ago. What percentage are folks moving in here, or what percentage of folks moving from point A to point B in the Tri-Cities?
We have a lot of people moving here from up north. Because of the weather, I would assume, and plus we don't have the state income tax, so we have a lot of people that are retiring here for financial reasons, which I can totally understand that. We got a lot of people moving here for work, whether it be with Eastman or some of the other places. We got a lot of manufacturing companies around here that are bringing people in from out of state, and the other thing that we're hitting a lot of is, like I said, the retirees. So once we get, we got people moving here from other parts of Tennessee, and so we also do, since we've, gone digital on pretty much everything, the closings that we do, I do Nashville and Knoxville and Memphis and stuff like that. So we've done pretty much all across the state. So we're, I've got some friends, especially from when I went to high school with, they all come back wherever they're living at, and we still do their mortgage. So it's kind of been a good thing.
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. Now, we have a mutual friend. I want to say hello to her because her mom watches all the time. I don't know if she's at work today or not, but we have a mutual friend down in Georgia, Ashley Powers Lowe, and her lovely mama Elaine, and her classy dad, Coach Powers, who helped me with the Hardee's Classic back in November in Jonesboro, the Thanksgiving basketball tournament. Clark Powers has forgotten more about basketball than most people know, and so I want to say hello to him and his little lady down in Georgia, and his lovely bride, and his other little lady in Cleveland, Tennessee. So hello to those folks. Also hello to Rick Dempsey, again in North Myrtle Beach watching. Rick Ranson in Pensacola, Florida. He's watching today. Thank you. Also Kim Brown back in Cross Lanes in Charleston, West Virginia. Thank you as well. Also Jerry Keller in Gray, Tennessee, watching today. And Paul King, thank you very much for being with us here. Some of the folks I noticed during the break that are watching us from Facebook Live. So that's what it's all about. And so if you're looking to, as we said, either purchase a new home or go through a refi process, here's the guy you want to talk to, Jeremy Livesey, Livesay, JeremyLivesey.com, and you can go to the website, and then of course from there that also opens you up to Mortgage Investors website too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Pro basketball. What do you think about the guy last night? The Cavaliers. He's on the court. What'd you say?
58 seconds is what I heard. He made 2 trips. It looked like.
Andrew Bogut.
I just wonder how much he signed for to make that 2 trips. So, yeah.
Well, I happen to have that right here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked that. Andrew Bogut recently traded to Philadelphia, which waived him, so he goes and comes home with the Cavaliers. And he signed him as a free agent. Doesn't talk about money necessarily, but he is in there. Yeah. And so he gives the defending champs more depth up front as they wait for Kevin Love to return from knee surgery. This guy's down the court in 58 seconds.
Yeah, I hope he signed a 10-day contract for Cleveland's sake, but apparently not.
So they pick him up on waivers as a free agent.
Yeah.
Andrew Bogut, 7-footer for the Cavaliers. The guy was on the court 58 seconds last night, breaks his leg. So I guess I don't know if he's done for the year, but he's out for...
No, he's done. I think they announced it this morning on ESPN about it. And, yeah, he's out for the rest of the year, and hopefully he signed a really big contract for his sake.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? 58 seconds.
I'd do that.
Oh, yeah. I would do that, too. I mean, 58 seconds into this show, something blows, and I get a check for millions.
Oh, yeah.
Let's hold this up one more time because it bears showing, and I'm terrible at this camera. Here we go. 2016 top producer Tri-City presented to Jeremy Livesey, $30.5 million. Pretty strong, cowboy. Congratulations from Mortgage Investors Group. So, again, the top producer. How many offices does the Mortgage Investors Group have?
Oh, Lord. Statewide, probably about 24, 25.
So you're the number one?
No, we're just in the Tri-Cities. We actually have a for the company. I was number 10, and then like I say, when you get into the Nashville market, there's some big heavy hitters down there. One of our guys in Nashville did like 140 million or something like that.
Wow.
So, yeah.
But 30 million in the Tri-Cities.
30 million around here is big.
We'll take it. Take it and run with it. Of course, where we'll be on Thursday will be a Champion Chevrolet, and I'm always amazed because they're the number one Chevy dealer in the state. There's 51 Chevrolet dealerships in Tennessee, and of course they outrank everybody in Nashville. They outsell everybody in Chattanooga, and they're right there neck and neck, and more times than not they exceed the number one Chevy dealership in Memphis. Now you take Memphis and the Tri-Cities and look what Champion's doing as far as sales. Well, same with Mortgage Investors Group. You take East Tennessee, $30.5 million just for this one gentleman. That's pretty strong. So Mortgage Investors Group, again, Tennessee's number one independent mortgage lender, JeremyLivesey.com, born and raised here in the Tri-Cities. He's one of us, and so good job. Better say shout out to your missus today too.
Yes, I think she's actually watching, or she's at least listening. So Ashley she's off today, so I've been shooting her some pictures from us, and so she's excited.
There you go. Yeah. Ashley, I met you a long time ago at the I saw you twice. Y'all recording. You're all at the home show, and you're all snuggled up in the booth one time at the Chop House in Kingsport, all lovey-dovey. So I said, there you go. So they got hitched, and it's good. She's a sweetheart, and she married a good guy. So good peeps, as they say, the Livesey family.
Oh yeah.
Man, I appreciate you letting me come over here and hang with you. Brand new sponsor, and next month will be in Kingsport.
Yes.
And we'll just keep on keeping on because this is what it's all about. And the Bucks, all right, let me get you this before we take off. Bucks win. I think they'll do better than a 14, 15 seed. I think they'll go 11, 12, 13, somewhere through there.
That sounds about right. For the Southern Conference, that's about average.
Yeah, you're 27-7, had quality wins this season. The way they won, coming out of that number 3 seed, a team that swept them in the regular season and beat them last night. We're talking about UNC Greensboro, who more than likely go to the NIT. So Bucks are punching their ticket to the big dance. That's a good thing. As we speak, playing right now at noon, Clemson and North Carolina State of the ACC. Coming up at 2:30, Wake Forest and Boston College. And then the nightcap of day one of the first round of the ACC at the Barclays Center in New York will be Georgia Tech, the Ramblin' Wreck, and the Pitt Panthers at 7 o'clock tonight. So appreciate you, man.
No problem.
Give me some taters. I like this guy. We go back a long way, too. He's a good guy. He has helped me in more times than I could ever care to mention, and he's a good feller, and we appreciate him.
We try.
There you go. He gets it done with me, I can tell you that. Chase Elliott joins us coming up here in a few minutes. We hear some audio from Chase after finishing 5th again on Sunday in Atlanta as everybody gets ready to head towards Vegas for the next running of a Bruton Smith track going from Atlanta to our sister track with Bristol. That would be Las Vegas for the Cobalt Tools 400. We'll hear from Chase Elliott and more in the remaining moments of the show. It's 12:35. We're at 64 degrees. Again, in North Johnson City. We're at the number one independent mortgage lender in Tennessee, Mortgage Investors Group, with our buddy Jeremy Livesey right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us at 20:22 before the hour. Again, I want to tell you about something we've got going on here because we are upgrading the show. And so if you'd like to be a part of the show, just go to patreon.com. You see it on the screen there. This is a chance for just a couple of bucks a month, whatever you'd like to do. You can help the show pay for its needs. We're getting ready to upgrade equipment and invest in some better technology. So hey, if you want to be part of the show, you can do that. There are different levels. Once you go there, you can find out different ways you can go. And right there it is on the screen, patreon.com/the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There's what they call a fan. There's what they call a loyal fan. There's a super fan. There's different segments. A mega fan. And, of course, the Ultra fan, and there's some bells and whistles that come through that, or come with that. And, of course, it's all right there on screen. Just go to patreon.com, Patreon, patreon.com, /the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And you can take a look in here. You can make a monthly investment, which is what you're doing. And so we're getting ready to take this thing even to the next level again after we've already done it here over the last 36 to 48 hours. And so we're going to take it to the next level. And so if you'd like to be a part of that, just go right there to that website, patreon.com /the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and all the prompts are there. So as always, I thank you for your support. And of course, without you, all the folks watching this show, I wouldn't be here. Of course, I've been told by many folks this would never work, it's not going to last, and voila, it is working, and it is lasting, and we thank you for that very much. Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, we're live here, as we said, for a few more minutes. We are live again at Mortgage Investors Group here in North Johnson City. We appreciate our guests coming by, Adam Grigsby, and also, of course, Tyler Parsons, who couldn't come on the air because he'd had dental surgery, but we appreciate him very much. Hey, coming up, one of our great sponsors, again, that would be American Import and Auto Repair. They've got a free ladies car care clinic coming up on Saturday, March the 25th. Again, you can learn things like how to change a flat tire, how to avoid changing a flat tire, what to look for under your hood, the safe way to jump start your vehicle, how to prevent the 5 most common mistakes that could cost you big bucks. It's all for the ladies. It's the ladies car care clinic that is every year. And they have a lot of great response. If you're looking for ways to stay safe, save money, who's not wanting to save money? Learn more about your truck or your car or your SUV, whatever you're driving. Of course, you want to give them a call. It's limited seating. 913-3111 is coming up on March 25th, which would be, I think, 2 weeks from Saturday. It's going to be held at American Import and Auto Repair here in Johnson City, again on West Market Street. Named Federated Auto Parts the #1 auto repair shop in the country. Federated Auto Parts named it the #1 auto repair shop in the country. Again, American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, between Johnson City and Jonesboro. The phone number to call and say, yes, I want to get in, at 913-3111. Again, they'll have drinks and snacks, and it's all for the ladies on Saturday at 1 o'clock. It lasts a couple of hours, so it's a free ladies car care clinic. If you're interested, again, give them a call at 913-3111 is the number to call. Baseball segment coming up. Again, we want to tell you about Daniel Norris, who pitched earlier in the week, actually over the weekend. Again, he went in the first inning threw only 7 pitches, 42 pitches total. First pitcher for the Tigers to go 3 innings in the spring training season. 7 out of the 9 outs he got were ground balls, so he kept the ball down and did very, very well. Daniel Norris, of course, pitching from Johnson City Science Hill with the Detroit Tigers. He had a strikeout, a walk, and a base hit, so Norris had a solid outing as one of the projected starters for Detroit coming up once the season starts. So a big afternoon on Sunday. They lose the game 8-5, but Daniel Norris pitched very, very well, and that is a good sign for him. He's had by his own admission, some control consistency problems, but again, a big outing for him on Sunday. Let's run down the scoreboard from yesterday. Baltimore beat Detroit 7-2. Red Sox over Houston 5-4. Actually, they played a 5-5 tie. My bad. Mets over Miami 8-2. Pittsburgh beat the Yankees all over the Yanks 13-1. Don't get excited. Most of these scores, they're playing a lot of reserves and a lot of guys are moving around different positions, kind of doing some tinkering to see how it's going to go for them. Minnesota beat the Cardinals in 10 2-1. Arizona 4, Kansas City 1. San Francisco beat the Indians split squad 3-2. Milwaukee took the other half of the Indians and beat them like a drum 14-4. The Padres over the White Sox 6-5. Cubs beat the Angels in a shootout 13-10. Colorado and the Dodgers had 19 runs between them as Colorado wins at 10-9, and Seattle beat Texas 9-0. Speaking of baseball, we're very excited. Starting on Monday, we'll be bringing you some games for the Elizabethton Cyclones. Went and watched them scrimmage yesterday, and they, when I left, were beating Crockett 14-2. So Ryan Preston on the Elizabethton Cyclone baseball team, very strong, and we're going to be broadcasting some of their games here on Facebook starting on Monday, and so we're very excited about that. Good response to the sponsors, again, in Elizabethton, so it's all good. We've got the Cyclone Pride coming up on Monday against Unicoi County at O'Brien Field, getting ready for the lid lifter of the 2017 baseball season, which is right around the corner. Boy, wish we could play one with the weather like we had, wish we could play today, even though, of course, it's supposed to rain. But, I mean, the weather is very, very nice right now, of course. And what was the last check? Let's double check and see. I want to say the last weather or temperature update was 64. So what we got right now, it is 66 again. So we've got rain in the offing again. The East Tennessee State baseball game tonight at Thomas Stadium has been canceled because of the weather. It's going to be apparently coming in here later on this afternoon and this evening. All right, let's take the baseball schedule today, see what's going on. Atlanta taking on the Pirates today. It's Boston and Washington, all these starting in just a few minutes at 1 o'clock, in about 15 minutes. The Dominican Republic taking on Baltimore today in Sarasota. Cardinals in Miami. Philadelphia, Detroit. Tampa Bay and the Yankees. Canada takes on Toronto, Dunedin, Florida. You also have Colorado at Texas. Italy, the Italian team in the country, to play the Cubbies in Arizona. Kansas City and the Reds at Goodyear at the Reds training camp at 3:05. San Francisco and the Dodgers. Mexico and San Diego. And Oakland and Arizona in Scottsdale, Arizona, all those day games in spring training. Update in college basketball, the ACC tournament with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Clemson 24 and North Carolina State 21. So they're off and running for the ACC tournament. Again, it's being played at the Barclays Center in New York. Clemson, NC State playing right now 24-21 Clemson. Then you have Wake Forest, Boston College at 2:30. Georgia Tech and the Pitt Panthers at 7 o'clock tonight in the opening round of the ACC tournament. And again, as we told you, Tennessee will be taking on Georgia at 1 o'clock, and they'll play that game on Thursday in Nashville. So that's what's going on there. Also, before we go to the break, we'll come back and hear from Chase Elliott and begin to wrap this thing up. Milligan, the Lady Buffs basketball team, the number 7 seed in the 26th annual Division II Women's Basketball National Championship. They'll be playing the ranked 24th. They'll face the number 2 seed, Dakota Wesleyan, ranked 8th in the country. Opening round tomorrow night at 7:30, the Tyson Event Center in Sioux City, Iowa. So Milligan at 23-9, earning the tournament berth with its regular season conference title. And so this will be the 7th time the Buffs have gone to the national tournament for Milligan head coach Rich Aubrey. So Aubrey has the second most career wins among head coaches with 440. Only Jamie Sale of Morningside has more wins than Rich Aubrey of Milligan, who has 440. And again, Jamie Sale has 499 wins. So Coach Aubrey, first off, he's a class act. Number 2, obviously can coach the game. And so good luck to them tomorrow night at 7:30. That'll be happening in Sioux City, Iowa. The Milligan College Lady Buffs in the national tournament against, they go in as the number 7 seed, taking on the number 2 seed, Dakota Wesleyan. So obviously it's going to be a very, very tall task for them to get out there and win that ball game. But hey, that's why you play them. Get out there and play and have a big time. As promised, here's Chase Elliott. We'll come back with a NASCAR segment, but here's Chase Elliott as we get ready to go to the break. And he had this to say about his 5th place finish in Atlanta over the weekend here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Yeah, I just had a good car and was able to stay on the lead lap. And we caught a caution at the right time to kind of bunch everybody back up. Had a good pit stop, jumped 3 or 4 guys on pit road. Had a good restart. And I think the outside lane got stacked up, so we were back up in 5th, and then luckily just kind of right back in the game. So a little bit of luck, a little bit of good pit stops, and kind of worked out. Just didn't work out when it counted. I thought our car was as good as Kevin's car was. I just think he did a little better job driving than what I was doing. I thought, we could run second to him. The majority of the day, I thought Brad at times was a little better than us. At times, I thought we were a little better than him. And on that last stop, we had just a little bit of a hiccup that, lost the second spot, unfortunately. And after Kevin's misfortune, that would have put us in a really good spot. So it's one of those things where, it's hard to be frustrated, at the pit crew because those guys did a really good job all day long. We made spots up all day.
Again, Chase Elliott, the number 24 in the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, currently a solid fourth in the standings. They head off to Vegas. Again, here's your top 10. Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney. How about a Casey Kane needing a strong year this year for Rick Hendrick Motorsports, and he's out of the gate with just that, having a very strong finish. And also out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Trevor Bayne of the Advocare Ford for Roush Fenway Racing, currently a solid 10th in the points. Some of the other notables that are struggling, obviously, Matt Kenseth 16th, Denny Hamlin 19th. You have Danica Patrick currently 22nd in points, Kyle Busch at 25th in points, way down the list. Also, you have Jimmy Johnson, the defending champ, currently 32nd, Junior 33rd, currently in points, but it's early, obviously. And so those are some of the names. But again, the top 10 in points as we head off again to Las Vegas this weekend. Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, the top 5. Then comes Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Blaney, Casey Kane, and Knoxville's own Trevor Bayne, which I'm a big fan of. Trevor's a heck of a driver, and he's from Knoxville, so why would you not be cheering on the local yokel, if you will? So we wish the very best to Trevor Bayne, and right now currently 10th in points. Again, he only trails Casey Kane by 5 points, and really it's pretty tight from second on down to 10th. You're only talking a differential of about 20-25 points difference. Maybe 28 points separates Kurt Busch from Trevor Bayne, which is not a lot the way the point system is in with the new configuration. Our final break, we'll come right back and begin to wrap this thing up. It is 12:50. It is 10 before the hour. We're live at the, see it on the screen, Tennessee's #1 independent mortgage lender, Julie and Jeremy and all the folks making it go. Again, over 200 closings last year, and this year off to a record start as well. And so go to that website, jeremylivesey.com, find out how he can help you with a brand new purchase or refi. He works a lot with VA folks, and of course they work very closely with all the real estate agents and certainly the insurance companies. They work very closely with all those folks, so they do a great job, and there's a reason why that sign says they're the number one independent mortgage lender in the great state of Tennessee. Quick break, we'll be right back. We're live here at their office in Princeton Commons in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, got a couple of minutes left here. Let's run down for you again. As we told you, the ACC is up and running again in New York with the basketball tournament starting today in New York. It's 29-23 Clemson with 3:23 to go in the first half. That one being played, of course, all of them being played in New York. So Clemson up by 6 with 3:23 to go in the first half. Other tournaments cranking up. Of course, we told you the Southeastern Conference gets going later on this week, starting actually tomorrow. And of course, Tennessee plays at 1 o'clock on Thursday against the Georgia Bulldogs. All that being played and happening, I should say, in Nashville. The Atlantic 10 starts tomorrow in Pittsburgh. The Big East Conference starts tomorrow in New York. Starting today, the Big Sky Tournament in Reno, Nevada. The Big 10 starts tomorrow in Washington, D.C. The Big 12 starts in Kansas City. Conference USA Tournament with my boys, the Marshall University Thundering Herd. We are Marshall. They'll start the Conference USA Tournament in Birmingham tomorrow. Thursday, the MAC Tournament starts in Cleveland. Also tomorrow, the Mountain West Conference in Las Vegas, the Pac-12 tomorrow in Las Vegas. As we said, the Southeastern Conference starts tomorrow in Nashville. The Southland Conference Tournament starts in Texas tomorrow. And starting today, the SWAC, that'll be on campus sites, and so that'll crank up today. And obviously the ACC is up and running as we speak in Brooklyn, New York. So that's what's happening there. Don't forget tonight, before we get out of here, there are still a few tickets available for this event tonight. It's called the Season Preview, the match game at Bristol Motor Speedway. Starts at doors open at 5:45. Show starts at 6:30 tonight. Paramount Centers for the Arts. I get a chance to hang out with Clint Boyer, Christopher Bale, Ron Capps, Courtney Force. They've added Chris Busher to the lineup, so it's all free tonight at the Paramount. There's a few tickets left. Of course, seating is very limited there, so there's a few tickets left, and they're all free, and you get them by going to ParamountBristol.org, and so that's how you do that. And so we have covered a lot today. Do want to say thanks to Tyler Parsons and certainly Adam Grigsby for stopping by and hanging out with us. We also heard from Brad Kozlowski, Chase Elliott, and also Kyle Larson from the NASCAR Monster Cup Energy NASCAR Series. We'll have more drivers tomorrow getting ready for the Cobalt Tools 400 coming up this weekend in Las Vegas. And, of course, all the basketball going on today and tonight. We'll have that for you tomorrow. We'll be live at Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday, we'll be on the road. We'll take it on the trail on Thursday again. Thursday we'll be on the road at Champion Chevrolet in the Bristol Motor Mile, Johnson City, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. And then Friday we'll be at Food City. Again, we'll be there in Boones Creek, kicking off a big weekend for shopping for Food City. Don't forget, at Mike's Medicine Mart in Kingsport, the Now product line is now 20% off. We're going to hear from Dr. Walton later on this week. The Now product line is 20% off. And also, don't forget another one of our great sponsors, the good folks at Cherokee Barbershop. The Gator Man's been down. He's been sick, but I think he's back. I think he's going to be back ready to go maybe tomorrow. He's had the crud. I saw him yesterday. He stopped by the Speedway for a few minutes on the way to the doctor and was not feeling well at all, so we appreciate him getting better. Again, he had over 200 first-time haircuts last year. It's located in South Johnson City, right down from Tipton Haynes working for him, and right down from there on South Roan Street. So when the barber pole's out, the Gator Man's in. I think he told me today he's going to take one more day to get better. He'll be ready to go and get back to work tomorrow. But he has been sick and been in sick bay, so we appreciate him very much. Last story I want to pass on to you here before we move on. As we told you, my boys are getting ready to make a move. They kind of got stymied, but they're back. We're talking about the Raiders are moving ahead with plans to move to Las Vegas. They took a big step yesterday in that direction. The Raiders are informing the National Football League they have plugged in with Bank of America to secure financing to build that new stadium. Came on the same day that Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf and her group was giving a presentation to the National Football League on their plans to attempt to keep the Raiders in Oakland. Mark Davis says, no, we made a commitment. We're going to move. The Raiders move still needs to be approved by NFL owners, but securing the rest of the required financing was pretty much a prerequisite to getting that approval. So the Bank of America joining the bid is a big, big development for the Raiders. The Vikings let go of Adrian Peterson, but not picking up his option for 2017 after several years of injury and underproduction from the running back. There's only a couple of teams that will actually make sense for him in free agency. One of those would be the Packers. The other would be the Raiders. And now he's talking about the Patriots. who has long been a haven for veterans interested in chasing a ring without actually being paid the equivalent of their name and or production. So it looks like that Adrian Peterson may be getting flirted by the Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Also last night, Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones had undergone surgery in his foot. Operation was a success. He had a foot injury throughout most of the 2016 NFL season, and so certainly didn't hurt his performance. 30 catches, 490 yards, and 4 touchdowns in 5 games after he came back in Week 16 from that injury. And also Brandon Cooks, the playmaker wide receiver of the Saints, looks like he's being courted by the Eagles, and the Tennessee Titans are looking for him to come their way. Also, final pro football news, we talked about this earlier with Jeremy. Tony Romo will not be playing for the Redskins in 2017. This may seem obvious as recently as a week ago. The Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says nope. He shot down quickly a report that the Cowboys are in a deal with the Redskins to send Tony Romo to Washington to play against them and their dreaded arch rival in the same division. And Jerry Jones says no, it's not happening. So no rush to make a decision on Romo, Jerry Jones said, adding that the team could swing a deal after the start of free agency on March the 9th, which is later on this week. The quarterback has not asked for his release, though the two men talked about all the possible scenarios that could play out in the coming days and weeks. Finally, in sports, the Stars, the Senators, the Rangers, and the Sharks all skate to victories last night in the National Hockey League. Tonight, who skates where? Let's see, the Predators on the road out on the left coast against Anaheim. Also, New Jersey skates at Columbus, Rangers in Florida, Detroit, the Red Wings in Toronto against the Maple Leafs. Philadelphia skates at Buffalo tonight. The St. Louis Blues in Minnesota, Carolina at Colorado, the Islanders skating at Edmonton against the Oilers, Montreal and Vancouver against the Canucks. I love to say that. Hello there, I'm a Canuck. Love that. A terrible English accent. And Nashville, the Predators skating in Anaheim. Hey, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll have our sportscast tonight on our personal Facebook page. Just go to Tom Taylor at 10:30 tonight and hear a kind of a sports update of all the sports going on from now until then. And then back on the trail tomorrow. We will be on the trail, Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City. So for Jeremy Livesey, Adam Grigsby, Tyler Parsons, Brad Kozlowski, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, this is Tom Taylor telling you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.